Hi, welcome to this week's edition of Good Morning Aubrey America. I'm Jacqueline.
And I'm Sydney. Now, do you ever wonder how much time and effort is actually put into the GMAA y'all watch every other week? Well, Cody and Jared have more on the story.
Ever wonder what we do in GMAA? Well, we got a chance to interview some of our star students. Here's what they think about our class.
I really like being in GMAA because we get to make the news for the high school, and I like hanging out with all my friends. And I've learned how to make, put a video together, and I've learned a lot.
GMAA has been a lot of fun this year. I work in a group with Sydney Carr and Kelsey Lynn, and we've done a lot of videos. We did one over football, volleyball, new businesses, and some other ones. We do editing with our videos in class on Sony Vegas, and it's really fun. Top notch.
Good Morning Aubrey America is a 20-minute school news program that runs every 2 weeks. The class consists of 26 students that make up 9 separate groups. In order to be part of the news crew, students must have taken 1 year of some type of video class. So if you are interested in becoming part of GMAA, please sign up for one of Ms. Heimdahl's classes.
The 2007-2008 school year, we got a grant for the studio that we have upstairs in the band hall right now. So we've got 2 separate sets, and in addition to that, we have a green screen. And we got that from the Aubrey Education Foundation. We got a desk and some plants and lamps and some backgrounds and stuff. So we were able to look more professional on the sets. Okay, every Tuesday, all the GMAA kids pick what stories they're going to do for the next segment. We've got 9 groups, and so we have to come up with 9 different stories every 2 weeks. So on Tuesday they pick their stories, and then they'll do their storyboards for the next segment. Once they've got their storyboards complete, then they spend the rest of the week filming their stories, going out and doing interviews, getting B-roll footage, and then the following Tuesday they'll come back and they'll edit their segments, put it all together.
Hope you enjoyed all the hard work we put into GMAA. Thanks for watching. Now back to you in the studio.
It really does take that much effort, but we all enjoy it a lot.
Another important member from last year's GMAA team was Sasha Hereford. Here's Casey Carlock to tell you where she's gone from here.
Even though Aubrey is such a small town, we have very many students pursuing their careers in movies. Here's Sasha to tell us more about her career as a movie director.
Former GMAA student Sasha Hereford has learned a lot from Mrs. Heimdahl in her past video classes. She recently entered a contest where she had the chance to go to LA for a movie her group did. Their group won out of 9 different cities across the United States of America. While they were in LA, they got to meet with a lot of famous movie directors and producers who shared with them what the steps were to make a successful motion picture.
Well, when we were in LA, whenever the premiere took place, they had a lot of key speakers come in, and we got to talk to the executive producer of Gossip Girl. We got to talk to the director of Sydney White. We got to talk to George Cromwell, which played in Babe as the farmer. And we got to talk to 2 special effects people, which was pretty cool. It taught us how to blow things up and set people on fire, and how to look like you're hitting somebody, and how to make it look like somebody's bleeding. Pretty crazy. Sooner or later, you might see one of her movies on the big screen or at one of your local video stores. Back to you at the studio.
Wow, it's really great to see a recent Aubrey alumni following their dreams.
Another high school graduate that's following their dreams is Kyle Skoglund. Alex Eo has the story.
We all wonder what it is that we will do after high school. Some of us know exactly what we're going to do, and some of us have no idea. 1 year after high school, most of us will be in college, the military, or working. Former HS student and GMA reporter Kyle Skoglund took a different approach. Kyle began training to fly helicopters in November of 2007. It has been a dream of his to become a Careflight pilot for as long as any of us in Aubrey can remember. So many people talk about what they plan to do with their lives, but never actually act on it. That's not Kyle Skoglund.
My first time that I went up, and we were in a Schweitzer 300, which is a little 2-seater helicopter with no doors, and he asked me if I'd ever been in one. And I said no, and he took the cycle, he dumped it left, and we were parallel to the ground, and without a door, I mean, I'm looking straight down, and I'm just going straight with the ground. He starts doing donuts, and we were starting to pull G's, and I started blacking out. Process and my goals in life are probably, I got to start out and get my private license, which I did back in June. Right now I'm working on my instrument rating. I'm about a week away. I take my check ride the week after Thanksgiving. After my instrument rating, I'll shoot for my commercial license. I'll be able to fly commercially and actually receive money to take people on flights. I should have that around January. After the commercial, I go for my CFI license, which is an instructor license, so I'll be able to instruct everything but instrument. So the way the owner likes to work at Summit Helicopters is they want us to get our II, which means I can instruct instrument as well. So I'll be a certified flight instructor. My goal in life into what I would like to do is to get up in a care flight or some sort of EMS somewhere out in the California along the coast region, maybe a search and rescue up in the mountains. I've always, been a fan of EMS. My backup was to be a firefighter if I couldn't do this. I wouldn't mind going into actual firefighting over in California with the fires up in the mountains.
Kyle's instructor, Sean and Bellina, elaborate on what it will take for Kyle to reach his goal of becoming a care flight pilot.
The procedures and operations through the industry. Kyle Skogman started with us in probably late July, finished his private in roughly 45 hours, which took him about 6 to 9 weeks to accumulate. What Kyle's working on now is Kyle is working on his instrument rating. He's been in my instrument program for about 3.5 weeks. He's about 1 week to completing the program. So that will be 1 month, and then the commercial program will finish off in about 3 weeks. His CFI program, which is the next rating, will take about a month, and then his II rating will take about another month. So a cumulative time in the professional pilot program is roughly 7 to 10 months. Once he finishes, he'll be making anywhere from $25 to $30 an hour as an instructor to build his time, because the commercial industry hires pilots at 1,000 to 1,500 hours. The programs that I just spoke with you about have taken Kyle, probably will take Kyle up to about 250 hours. So the time gap between 250 hours to 1,000 and 1,500 will be acquired by doing flight instruction. So once he gets done with 1,000 to 1,500 hours, he'll be making roughly 70 to 90,000 after 1,000 hours. So in a year from now, at 20 years old, Kyle's 19 at the moment, could be racking in, if he stays away from trouble doesn't find him, and studies and works hard, can be making pretty good money. Now the industry, how it works in the helicopter industry, when I say those numbers of 75 to 90,000, we don't work 52 weeks a year. We work 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So you take that number at 75,000, let's just say 75,000, at 26 weeks a year, that's pretty good money, because what Kyle will do is get on what we call a hitch, and he'll work a hitch for 2 weeks and then go home for 2 weeks. So that aspect of this industry is appealing to Kyle, to where he could also have a home life, a family, and come home and still be in the business.
Most of us have some type of dream what we'd like to pursue after high school, but not many act on those dreams. Kyle is a great example of not just talking the talk, but actually reaching for the sky and following his dream to become a care flight pilot.